Hello, everyone, and welcome to TV Literate, the podcast that unapologetically enjoys trashy TV. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Megan.
We're here.
We're here, and it's June.
It's fucking June.
It's June. It's like summer. I mean, it's not really summer, but it's summer. It's summer.
It's weird. I was literally just thinking about this earlier, that sometimes when we record in like December, the sun's set by the time that we finish at like 5 p.m. And now it's like 4 something, and the sun's gonna be up for like another 5.5 hours.
Yeah,
and I'm
it's
just like, please stop.
The day's just beginning, Jillian. We have so much more to get through.
God, it's like I just need the days to be short because then there's less day.
That's fair. I get
Like,
that. The night is
no one
superior.
expects anything of me after dark.
That's true. That's a good point. And just like the vibes of nighttime are
So much better.
so much better. I agree.
You can just be cozy. You don't have to wear like business clothes.
It's weird because I'm like fully a night person, but I really do notice a difference in like I hate the heat, but like in daylight hours, like really makes a difference in my mood. But like I am naturally more of a night person, so I don't know. I'm just confused. That's just me.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
General-
you're getting just more hours of sun on the night shift now.
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
Just like fully more instead of like us diurnal people.
Yeah,
who just,
exactly.
Like expands from like 8 to like 12. You're going from like 3 to like 9.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what have you been watching lately, Jillian?
So we finished Survivor Marquesas.
Nice.
Which was a mess. That whole
That's an interesting one. There's a lot to it.
it's so much. Like maybe we need to start a second podcast that's just Survivor.
I would be totally fine with that, honestly.
We can have Chris in there.
Yeah, Kyler and Chris could be our like guests every now and then because they're But that one's there's a lot to Marquesas.
There's a lot, and I'm so bad at everybody's name all the time. Like I can hardly remember it when I watched like 4 episodes in a row, and I'm like, that one. But the older guy on there who's just like, oh, I'm totally fine, and then he's all of a sudden just like, oh, I'm super racist, like every couple of episodes.
Yeah, old guys are gonna be old guys.
Right?
What can you do? But yeah,
yeah. Well, other than Survivor, we went to the beach, so we didn't watch a lot of
Nice.
TV. And oh my God, it was so good to have a real vacation. I didn't even look at my phone for like
That's
most of the
awesome.
day. I went out and played in the water and almost drowned.
Oh, that's not so awesome.
I mean, it was just
A chill drowning.
big waves.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of resign yourself sometimes when you're like,
Yeah, it's like
the
if it
waves
happens,
keep
it
hitting,
happens.
and they don't stop hitting, and they just keep hitting.
The years start coming and they don't stop coming.
Exactly.
You know?
And like, I'm fine, obviously. I didn't even die that much. I got, so the thing is I was trying to go snorkeling and the rip current was just too bad. And so me and Dad were out there and I couldn't even get my fins unburied from the sand when I was coming in because it was moving so much sand with every wave.
Gosh.
So I got stuck backwards getting hit like aerial with waves. And then I finally got
Jeez.
my fucking fins off and just whipped them into shore like a frisbee and doggy paddled out there and then just had to keep my snorkel on even though there was no visibility because I just kept getting hit in the face with bigger and bigger waves.
That doesn't sound terrifying at all.
I think all in it was probably about 25 minutes.
Jesus.
But it felt like hours.
Yeah, for real. God, that's awful. I'm glad you're alive. Like,
I know,
for
it was
real.
kind of fun, but I only did the ocean once the whole trip, so I kind of learned my lesson.
That's fair.
Yeah. But in preparation for the beach, we watched Jaws 1 and 2, obviously.
Nice. Of course.
And I have to say, I think I might actually go to bat for Jaws 2, because everyone says it's a shitty movie, but it's no shittier than Jaws 1, and Jaws 1 is a great movie. It's just that compared to Jaws 1, it's not quite as good, but it's still a good movie.
Yeah, that's unfair to be like, you can't always be as good as the original, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. You just don't want to be the original, so you have to do something different. Sometimes it's not as good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I will go to bat for Jaws 2. I haven't watched Jaws 3 or 3D yet, but whatever. And then the only other thing I have to talk about lightly, as I haven't watched it yet, but there are 2 new FLDS, the Fundamentalist Mormon documentaries that just came out. There's Preaching Evil, which is on Peacock, and that one is apparently quite focused on his first wife, his quote unquote favorite wife, who was like his scribe and like knew all the details of all his religious stuff and everything that she knows and her secrets. But then there's the new one that just dropped on Netflix this week that has just the name that we all will know and love. Keep Sweet.
Oh.
Pray and Obey is what it's
God.
subtitled. Yeah, it's fucked up. I
Yeah.
haven't seen as much about that one, but I'm glad that we're always getting all those fucking fun new Mormons on this expose circuit.
Hell yeah. No, I'm totally for it. And I will definitely check out both of those.
Yeah.
Because,
that's good.
yeah, you can never have too much of that shit. And more people should be exposed to how fucked up it all is. So
yeah. Anyways, that was long-winded. What have you been watching?
So I do actually have something other than Survivor to talk about, which is a miracle. Yes. I actually decided to watch season 4 of The Circle, which is new.
Oh, shit.
And I watched it. So if you'll remember, I talked about season 3 a little bit. I really did not like season 3. It was just like, it just did not work for me. I didn't like the people at all.
I think I started season 3 and then just never finished it.
Yeah.
So I think I had the same vibe.
Yeah. And apparently that's a pretty common thing, I think I was reading. But then season 4, I liked a lot better. It was just, it felt a lot lighter to me. And it was kind of exactly what I needed. I needed just like something light that had like nothing to do with my life or like the world as it is now. So The Circle was kind of perfect for that. And I liked a lot of the contestants this round. So yeah, I liked it a lot more than season 3, which might be an unpopular opinion because I kind of went on to the interwebs and looked at other people's opinions, and a lot of people didn't really like season 4. I don't know, a lot of people thought it was boring, but I enjoyed it. So whatever.
You know, there's always going to be critics.
Exactly.
And the critics are going to be the ones on the internet.
Yeah, they're the most vocal people. So
because everyone who just thinks, oh, you know, it was fine, it was pretty good, they're not going to go out and tweet about it.
Exactly. But I recommend it if you enjoyed like the first couple seasons of The Circle, even if you didn't like season 3, because again, that seems to be a popular opinion. A lot of people thought season 3 was pretty weak. I recommend checking out season 4 because I thought it was a lot better.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We've lost the plot, I think.
That's fine. It's really fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Who needs the plot?
There is no plot. Life has no plot. It's just
seasons.
Never ending.
It's just seasons.
Yeah. Seasons of life. All right. So I think we're going to go ahead and get into it. So for today, we are going to continue with where we left off with the Bringing Up Bates. We are on season 8. We're like right in the middle of it. Just as a reminder, because it's been a while and I completely kind of like blocked out what had happened. Yeah. But Josie just got married. Yes. Because the first episode starts with them being like, since everyone's in town for the wedding. And I was so confused. I was like, okay, is this Josie's wedding? Is this Carlin's wedding? Because I know that's coming up. But no, it's Josie's wedding. Just so we're all clear.
Yes. Yes, she just wedded everyone. She got wedded.
Okay, so the first episode that we are going to talk about is called A Wedding to Plan and Fun with the Fam.
I had forgotten how bad the season's titles were. Because they were good. They were like good bad for a couple seasons there, but sometimes they go back into bad, and I think this is the downhill slide. It's
not been great this go around for sure. No. So like I said, Alyssa's in town for Josie's wedding still, and Aaron kind of wanted to organize something for all of the like grandkids to do together. And so they planned a trip to the Muse, which is like a little like craft activity studio. Yeah. It seemed really cool.
It was like a sensory play thing.
Yeah, it seemed really awesome and fun. Yeah. So they brought all the kids and like everyone who was in town. So we had Alyssa. We had, of course, Michael and Brandon were there.
God.
Everyone.
Fuck. Yeah. So they're like crafting and stuff, and they're doing like painting, and Kelly... Can I tell you how long it took for me to remember that Kelly's name was Kelly? I was like, Michelle, no. Joe?
That's her middle name. You're close.
I was like, I'm close. Then I was like, Kelly. I was like, Kim? No, that's the Plath. But yeah.
We got to get through the Fundy moms until we get to Kelly.
Right? She's like the least offensive Fundy mom, except for maybe this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So she asks Brandon about his book, which is like the picture book with the story that's being published, I guess. It was just sent to the editor and they haven't finalized the art and whatever. And then Kelly looks at all these children, looks at Brandon straight in the face and says, "See what you're missing out on?"
Yeah. Yeah, I would, if my mother-in-law said that to me, I would punch her in the face.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would punt her.
No. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up to say. Yeah. Like it's just fucked up that it wouldn't like cross her mind to like be like, maybe I should be careful with what I say around Michael and Brandon, who have been going through infertility their entire marriage. Like, maybe I should think about what I say before I say it to them.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think even she was trying to like couch it that they should move closer because then they'd have children to play with since they can't have their own, which was kind of fucked.
It was. Like, I definitely got that vibe too, because they were pressuring Michael and Brandon to move, and I think it's also like it's Michael and Brandon clearly don't want to make Chicago like their long-term like living situation, so they're probably like in the market to move, and so I understand them pressuring it. But yeah, it definitely got the vibe of like, you can't have kids, but you could have access to a lot of kids here and help us babysit.
Yeah, you could be Jana.
Oh God, poor Michael.
Yeah, even Kelly was like to Michael, she was like, "Oh, it'd be so great if you were here. You could help with the kids." And it's like, again, not your job. That's your job. You are the mother, and they all have parents. So
it's because remember, like every time Michael comes in town, like she walks in the door and she's immediately given a sewing job or something to do, like immediately upon arrival, every single time.
Yeah, it would be a nightmare. And it's funny because I think both Brandon and Michael are both too, like, I don't mean meek and like the whatever, but like they kind of act meek.
Yeah.
Like not like confident or like pushy or aggressive.
Right.
But like I don't think they would say anything.
No, yeah, they would not push back. They would just do it. Yeah, for sure.
It's brutal.
It is for sure.
I'm like, please just let Brandon get a job like a couple states away.
Yeah, that would be great. That would
like at
great.
least
But I think they are living there now though, in Tennessee. Ugh. So I don't know.
I wonder what happened. Maybe it's because Brandon can't work for the IBLP anymore or something.
Who knows? Maybe it'll come up in a later season. We'll see. No spoilers.
I still want to know why this got canceled.
I know.
I'm so mad.
I know. So then we get a little bit where Gil brings the younger girls over to Erin's house for like a play date. And they're like making random cards. Kelly's birthday's coming up, so some of them are making them for her. And Gil is excited because he gets to hold baby Everly and have her all to himself.
Yep. They have goats now, which I didn't remember. They have these two fucking cute ass little goats that they just showed right at the beginning, and I'm like, you know what? Don't show me the children. Don't show me their art. Show me the fucking goats. That's what I'm interested in.
More goat content.
Then their fucking yellow lab ran right in front of the car as Gil was pulling up. And I just like had so much fear. I was like, this dog is going to get hit by a fucking car. God. I'm like, they wouldn't show that. They wouldn't show that on TV.
I would hope not. Please. I cannot
not
handle
Faith
that.
and Family. TLC might, but Up wouldn't.
Good point.
But the other thing is their other kid, Brooklyn, woke up, I guess, from her nap, and she just was so grumpy, and it was such a vibe. Like, she was just sitting there with this little, like, menacing face on, just, like, crafting aggressively.
Brooklyn was a mood, for sure. We've all been there.
And Gil keeps calling her Brookie, and every time he calls her Brookie, she just, like, scowls deeper.
No.
I'm not Brookie.
No, Brookie. Yeah, she was awesome. I love her. She's a mood,
iconic Fundy child.
We love it. Do you have anything else to say about this? This was like kind of a really short little piece.
Yeah, it was just like look, Gil does stuff with the kids.
Yeah, great. So then we go to Bible Baptist Church to kind of check in on the progress, and we also get like an update on all of the boys. So progress is being made to the church. The sheetrock is up. Half of the place is painted, but the progress is really starting to slow down, and it's getting Bates-like.
Yeah, it's because Gil says at the end of this little section, he says, well, I'm really proud of us. We're building the church debt-free. And I'm like, yeah, you're using your own children to build it, and otherwise you brought in free specialized labor.
Yeah.
Like, that's like Dave Ramsey kind of shit. Like, oh, just, get a job that pays $300,000 a year.
Yeah, no problem. Just have, 5 strong sons that can do all the labor for you. Great.
5 strong sons, a couple carpenter construction son-in-laws. Like, just have them do all the free work for you. No big deal.
Kids are really famously known for being cheap and not an investment at all. So
that's true. If they're under 18, you don't even have to pay them as long as you keep them a secret.
Great. So again, like I said, we get some updates on the older boys. So Trace talks about how he's been working with Chad on construction stuff, but he's also working part-time as a deputy sheriff with Zach, which we all know how we feel about that.
Yep. That was a thumbs down for anyone who heard the
Yeah. Stick to the construction, Trace.
Yeah, just do that. Nathan his heart has, quote unquote, become overseas.
Oh God.
Because he likes to go to the Philippines, etc. and offer aid to people there, which not necessarily the worst thing, but I mean, they're like, Christians are being oppressed, and I'm like, no, they are not. They are like an evangelical Catholic country right now, having like people murdered for being queer, etc. So no, but he's like, well, and we have to go, it's islands, and it's like, yes, it is islands.
Yes.
So we have to get a helicopter.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, it's not like inherently a bad thing to be like trying to help other people, but like the way that they go about it is very like they were talking about how they were going to be putting in a helicopter system and a 911 system, and this was all so that they could have access to help, but then Gil adds that these systems are also connected to local churches so their spirituality can be helped too.
Yeah.
It's like, not sure about that part.
Hello, 911. Do you believe in our Lord and Savior?
Yeah, like, are these only like resources that people like? Yeah, Christians can use? Like, it's like there's a lot of weird implications
like a
bad
there. Setup here,
exactly.
Like, especially in the Philippines. I mean, even here, honestly, but like, bad shit happens.
Yeah. For sure.
And also, there's like way bigger needs. Imagine how many people that you could get clean water, food, clothing, whatever, for the price of a fucking helicopter and a helicopter pad. Get a boat. Get a fucking boat. It's islands.
Yeah. It's islands. Yeah. So then we move on to Lawson, who talks about his music career. I don't know. There doesn't seem to be really much going on with Lawson. He's getting vocal coach lessons to help broaden his range, which he definitely needs.
Which I love that the vocal coach just has him like grunting around the house, so everyone made fun of him, which is what I need. I require Lawson being mocked.
We love it. That is what my soul craves more than anything.
He says that his new album is the best album he's ever done. It's not a high bar, honey.
I know. Yeah. So he's still working his way, going to Nashville a lot, presumably. And I had a quote from Jackson, who was in a Talking Head, said, "The older boys are doing a lot of things. Getting girlfriends is not one of them." Nope. Eviscerate them, Jackson.
Cut them. Yeah. I mean, it's like they're at like a reasonable age now to get married.
Yeah.
But double standards. I'm sure, maybe not 100% sure, but I feel like all of the Fundy boys have probably gone to a further base than the Fundy girls.
I would be very shocked if that weren't true.
Yeah.
I just think it's so telling that all of the Bates girls got married so young, in their late
like
teens, early 20s at the latest. And most of the boys, I think the only exception is Zach, got married in their like mid to late 20s.
Yeah, and even the people that the fucking 18-year-olds are marrying are in their mid 20s.
Yeah, it's just it's very disturbing to me.
Yeah, it's just upsetting. It's just like, look at these men getting to have like opportunities to go and do stuff that they're interested in, even though it's stupid stuff like bad country singing and being a cop. But like the girls get to be a nurse maybe, or a cosmetologist maybe, until you're a mom.
Yes. It's hate it all.
Hate it.
So then the last part of this episode is at Whitney and Zach's house, and she has Carlin, Aaron, and Kelly over, and they are going to, I guess the like original plan for the get together is to talk about Carlin's wedding and also work on making ornaments that Aaron is planning on handing out with her Christmas CD.
Again, what the fuck? I don't know. I don't know. Who? Fundies are the only people still buying CDs.
Probably, yeah. I don't remember the last time I bought a CD. Like, 2007. I mean, like 7. I don't know.
Album, like like vinyl, yeah,
sure.
Or like buying a digital album on like iTunes or whatever, yeah,
sure. But yeah, a physical CD
with like a jacket and like a fucking ornament attached to it.
Yeah, no. Even my husband doesn't do stuff like that, and he's like
for people who don't have the internet, because CDs don't have like an inherent like sound,
right? Yeah, like vinyl does. Like vinyl, there's a lot of valid reasons to like want the vinyl over like a other copy of it, but yeah.
CDs.
CDs, man.
CDs with ornaments now.
Yes, great. I love how, so we're, like I said, we're talking about Carlin's wedding too during this, and Carlin was shocked to find out that May was a popular month to get married in.
I know. Also, this is like December.
Yes.
Right? Like this is like late in the year, and she's like, everywhere's booked up, and it's like, yeah, because most people are engaged for like a year plus, because they live together and they're not just like having a fucking shotgun wedding to bang.
Yes. Also, if you want to get married in a popular month, like you have to plan further in advance. And like, it's not that hard to figure out which ones are the popular months. Like, it's a simple Google search, or just like think of the weddings I've been to.
Gotten married. Yeah. When do you have a lot of weddings that you go to?
Yeah.
The summer months, possibly?
Yeah, when I booked my wedding, I was talking to the people at my venue, and they said that their months that always fill up first are June, then May, then September, or maybe then October, then September. Like those are the big ones. So if you want to get married in one of those months, like you got to do it more than 6 months in advance.
Yeah. Or like Bates, where it's like 3 to 4 months in advance.
Right. So Carlin was planning on having like a big cathedral wedding, but that is out of the picture because it's not possible. Yeah. And she can't wait any longer to have sex. So they are going to do an outdoor wedding like Josie did. So here we go. Yep.
It'll be a lot. Of course, Chad has immediately volunteered for every single part of the wedding. He's going to make them a stage, a backdrop, which is like going to be like a window or something, and then a fucking like suspended chandelier outside. I don't know what we're doing here. It seems like wind, and that's like just like a lightning rod.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this comes together. But all I have to say is I feel so bad for Chad. It was so funny too, because it ended up like he ended up finding out that he was doing this in a talking head, because like Aaron didn't even tell him that she had volunteered him to do this. Like he had to find out from the show.
It's like, you should at least tell him when you volunteer him so he can prepare like his projects around it. Like even if you don't ask for his permission, which like
you should
ask for his permission. But if you're like, oh, Chad can do it. Chad has said he is open to do anything for anybody, whatever. So it's like, just fucking tell him 3 to 4 months ahead of time, especially for something that's complicated.
Yeah. Well, and then she was like describing it all, and she was like, that's like a day's worth of project, right? And he was like,
He's like, haha, yeah.
Yeah. And it sounded like literal, like, weeks worth of work, whatever she was describing.
Yeah. Yeah, like a full stage. And getting that thing fucking transported?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No thanks.
It's gonna be
it's
a
gonna
lot.
be a mess. We'll see.
But then they talk about our favorite topic, dancing.
Dancing.
And I love that Kelly finally just out and out said it. Well, we didn't really do any dancing because we didn't want the kids to be doing anything sexual.
Yes.
It's like, yes.
Yes, of course. But apparently, since ballroom dancing is a wholesome style,
it's what princesses do.
Yes. It's okay. So Kelly or Carlin wants to do like a dance with Evan and then also a dance with Gil. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's dancing is back on the menu, I guess, as long as it's ballroom dancing or wholesome.
Yeah. Carlin keeps talking about that she found this song that she wants to have a daddy-daughter dance to. She's like, it's so good. It's just about like being a little girl and growing up and da-da-da. And I'm like, it's going to be that fucking song that everyone picks because she's never heard it before because like
she doesn't
that music is not allowed.
Yes. But there is like there are like some very like the country songs that are literally written for that occasion.
I'm Googling the name of the one.
I don't know.
Country father-daughter dance songs. Oh, I Loved Her First.
Yes.
By Heartland. Or My Little Girl by Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
There Goes My Life by Kenny Chesney. That one's a big one.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, my dad and I, we did a father-daughter dance, and we danced to Wildflowers by Tom Petty, which is a very like meaningful song to both of us. So
hell yeah. Yes. I love Tom Petty.
I do too. I love Tom Petty. It wasn't ballroom dancing. We literally just like swayed because we were like, I don't want to put any effort into learning to dance, and like nobody's gonna care if we suck at dancing. So like, let's just like have fun.
Yeah, It's just supposed to be like a nice little moment to like recuperate and chit chat and like have a nice moment.
Yeah, it was, and it was great. It was fun. But yeah, so we'll see how the dance goes. I'm interested though to see how this plays out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The only other thing that I have to say is Carlin's just like, I can't believe it. I'm going to be a wife. And I'm like, oh God, it's just like, she's finally going to be something. She's allowed to be something now.
A wife. How exciting.
Hate this.
Great.
Oh well.
So moving on, the next episode is called Nashville Nursery Makeover.
Oh my God. This, again, this family is the most dysfunctional family.
I know, they stress me out so much. Every time they're doing something, it is so stressful to me. I would not do well in the Bates family at all.
Right? Like, I think I would have like perished.
Yeah. No, I just cannot. I cannot function on this level of everything they're at.
I would have like slithered off at the age of 11 or something and never been seen again. But I was the middle child, so they just forgot I existed.
They're like, oh yeah, I think we always had 18. We always had 18.
We always had 18.
Okay, so Tori is 4 weeks away from her due date, and the nursery is not anywhere near complete.
Nope, it is just a crib and a little twin bed and then a whole lot of stuff.
Yes.
Tossed.
But thankfully, Erin is a design expert, and she's on the case, and she has brought Kelly, Lawson, Whitney, and a bunch of the younger kids to Nashville to help set everything up and decorate.
Yep. I'm glad Erin loves decorating because Tori can't do it.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, like, I get it. I am much more a Tori than an Erin. I am not a decorator. But I just wouldn't plan a fancy nursery or, like, want a fancy nursery. Then I would just have, like, here's the crib, here's the stuff that the baby needs, here's the table and whatever, and then, like, make it a nice color.
I do like decorating, but I like doing it, like, as a, like, I don't like doing it all at once. Like, I like adding things and, like, taking it slow. Like, it doesn't need to all.
Yeah, like finding a new piece of art. Great.
Yeah. Like, this reminds me of a line from Juno when Jason Bateman says, like, the baby's not going to come out demanding dessert flavored walls. Like, it's fine if your nursery is not like completely set up when the baby's born. Like, he's not gonna even, like, the baby's not even gonna use the nursery that much. Like, it's gonna be with
the
you
baby
the
can't
whole
even
time.
really see that far and doesn't know what any of it is.
It's really fine.
The baby has no taste yet. The baby is just understanding being a human.
Yeah. But thankfully, what's her name? Tori has a huge family that can help out, so she doesn't even really have to worry about anything at all, which is great.
Yeah.
I loved that Lawson was basically just there to like carry stuff as he should be. He was just like, yes, he was just a body, which yes.
He was also there to be dumb.
Yes, which he's very good at.
Very good dumb moments.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, Lawson's first dumb moment is just that he like walks into the nursery that it's like undone, and he's like, oh, this is, I'm gonna stay here whenever I'm in Nashville. I'm like, it's gonna have a baby in it in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, don't know if you want to stay there. It's not
yeah, you're probably not gonna come in like during the baby's sleep time. Like, yeah, you're gonna be, the baby's gonna be asleep when you come home.
Yeah, it's not gonna work out. But they did. I loved that we get to see Chad, #free Chad. He made a headboard for Tori, for like a twin bed that was in that room for Tori. And it looked really nice. Like, Chad can make a headboard.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not my style, but it looked like a really quality headboard.
Yeah, it looked solid.
I want him to make me a headboard because I hate our headboard.
We don't have a headboard because the wall is a headboard.
The wall is a headboard. That is a good point.
Again, much more like Tori than anybody else. Fuck decorating. I'll put up the things that I like to look at.
Oh, I have a random quote that Tori said when she was kind of just like talking about her pregnancy and about how things were and how she was feeling. Mm-hmm. She was talking about him like moving in her belly, and she just said, he does the creepiest things.
I mean, yeah,
it is creepy. Like, if you really think about it, like,
yeah, you've just like, especially like 4 weeks from the due date, you've got like
a full ass baby.
Yeah, like a recognizable baby.
Yeah.
And then of course in this part she's like sitting on the floor and she's talking about like how the baby's positioned, and then all of them just come over and just start squishing the shit out of her tummy. Yeah, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is definitely part of being pregnant that I would not appreciate.
Yeah, I don't really like being touched very much. So.
Yeah, especially by fucking strangers that are like, here, let me touch your middle.
Right.
Not like shoulder, arm or something. It's
like right in, that's like a little too intimate for me. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And then they like fucking leave their hand on there, or like
it's
rub a stranger's belly.
Yeah, like
absolutely not.
Who gave you the right, sir? That is my belly.
So, moving on. They're talking about how some of the stuff that Erin ordered hadn't shown up, and she ordered wall decals, and so they say that they're going to DIY it, and Lawson just yells, "What does DIY stand for?" And I think Tori just like didn't even look at him and was like, "Do it yourself."
How do you not know what DIY stands for in your like late 20s? That's a very common.
I know, like, and something that your sisters and mom probably talk about a lot, because all of your projects are DIY.
Yeah, exactly. It's what does DIY mean?
I know. I was just like, Jesus, Lawson, like, don't get mad.
Yeah, so they are DIYing wall decals, and they're basically just making like little squares of contact paper that they're going to spray paint and stick to the wall. And I loved how I have a quote from Lawson that just says, "Can someone tell me why black squares of tape on a wall are going to look good?"
I know, everyone was so fucking pissed about it. And
they
Erin's
were
like,
haters.
I have an idea.
I have a vision.
Get fucked. Yeah, no one was trusting the process, and Erin just was like, you know what? This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. And if you fucking hate it, you can peel it off and you go fuck yourself.
Honestly, I think I would have a really hard time working with Erin, but I respect her. Like, she has, at least she like sticks to her vision. She knows what she's doing, and she doesn't let other people get in the way of that. And I respect that. It's
like, not a trauma response, but a trauma response to having a shitty fucking family where you are talked over all the fucking time because you're a girl.
Yeah, great. Wonderful.
Iconic.
So then we take a little break from the nursery and we check in on Katie, who has last minute decided to do the cosmetology program at Crown College, following in Josie's footsteps.
Yep. I don't know why they're all doing cosmetology school, but I'm here for it. Because, like, aren't you supposed to be, like, not cosmetically enhanced in the Bible? Like, you're just supposed to be,
that's a good question.
Beautiful and natural.
That's a good question. Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting that would be a career choice that is possible for them. Yeah.
And then of course it always just makes me fucking think of Jim Bob. We all the girls have their hair long and curly because Jim Bob likes it, and it's just like, yeah, this is all fucked up. It's because Gil isn't as much as a fucking creep as Jim Bob is,
which isn't saying a lot, but
no, he's just an asshole, not a creep, which I can respect a little more,
a little bit more.
I just regular hate you, don't like super hate you.
True. She talks about how she eventually wants to go into nursing, so I don't really know why she didn't just go into nursing, but I mean, whatever.
Probably it's because you have to have college courses or like accredited courses usually in math and one science or something, so you have to take a couple classes at a community college or whatever before you do nursing school, and then sometimes there's like 3-year waiting lists for admission. That's into nursing school. Yeah, which
good
seems
point.
Fucking bonkers that we don't have enough nurses, but we have waiting lists, so we should get more people to teach nurses.
Yeah, but oh god, that sounds
it's a vicious fucking cycle.
It is. But yeah, good for Katie, I think.
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
I wonder if she ever becomes a nurse. No, I think she just does the Bates Sisters boutique.
Yeah, I don't know. I know she got married in like December and moved to New Jersey, so I think she might be like,
oh yeah, I forgot she's the one who moved to New Jersey, not Josie.
So I don't know what she's doing right now other than being a wife in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Being Carmela Soprano.
I hope so.
That would be a vibe. I would love it.
I mean, if Katie comes back with like leopard print tops and like large gold jewelry,
I'm here for it.
I'll become a Katie stan.
For sure.
She's already pretty high on the list of Bates children because she's just like, I like ice cream and pizza and nothing else. Get fucked. She's pretty like, under the radar, which is what we like. Yeah, I bet she and Tori were like buddy system.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So then back in Nashville, we're going to the thrift store to buy some decorations for the nursery. But of course, everyone is getting wildly off track and buying stuff for themselves and looking at clothes. Shopping. Yeah.
Shoe shopping. Mess. It's bonkers. Then Zach rolls in with one of the kids and he's just like, this is buck wild. Yes. But whatever. It was fine. They seemed to get some stuff that was actually usable.
They did. They were productive in the end. So that's good. And like, thank God that there are so many of them to like help do the physical labor so that when they get like distracted and spend all day at the thrift store, they can still complete their project in the end,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I did like, as they were leaving, Zach said, I think he asked Whitney, did you guys get what you need? And she said, yeah. And he's like, well, if you buy everything in the store, you're bound to have what you need.
Good point, Zach.
Yeah. Yeah. As they're carrying out bag upon bag.
Yes. So then back at Tori's house, we're painting furniture and bins and all kinds of stuff. And then Kelly gets a delivery because I guess it's Kelly's birthday and she's away from home. And so Gil has sent her flowers and balloons and
cupcakes, cookies. It was wild, but like good job, Gil.
Yeah, hell yeah. You should spoil your wife on her birthday or your husband.
Don't phone it in on someone's birthday.
I love celebrating a good birthday.
Yeah. Like, I'm not huge on the party, but like,
yes, just like,
if you like get me a good present and we have a nice day of like food or an activity and stuff, top quality.
Just like making the person feel special on their birthday. That's really all it takes. After the balloons and the flowers and everything, everyone gets back to work and really cranks down on it. And somehow, despite the Bates being Bates, everything comes together in the end.
And it looks nice.
Yeah, it looked nice.
Like, not my style, but looked nice.
Yeah, like not offensive in any way. And I thought that the accent wall with the stickers looked a
Squares?
lot better than I
Uh-huh.
thought it was going to. So like I said, I appreciate Erin for sticking with her vision, even
Yeah.
though I thought it was going to look a lot worse than it did. It
Yeah.
did look nice.
Yeah, it looked really nice. I was very surprised. I was like, damn,
Mhm.
I could just be sticking tape to the walls and shit.
I know, like goddamn. Yeah, sometimes it's like you don't think about how like easy it would be to make something look completely different, but then it's like that takes effort and
So much effort and like vision.
yes,
Because
like,
you have to trust the process. And if
yeah.
I'm like doubting the process, like 2 steps in, the process is not going to get
We're
finished.
just gonna stop. We're just gonna stop.
Yeah. I'll be like, well, I fucked this up. So let's start over.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, everyone was really happy with how the nursery turned out, especially Tori. And Tori made everyone a big dinner to say thank you, and it was really nice.
Yeah, and Michael sent Tori some of her blankets, which is what appears to be her business now. Is blanket selling, which is good.
Let's get into the next episode, which is called a newlywed nest and Trace put to the test.
Ugh.
No words.
This whole Trace put to the test part, the whole time I was just like, ugh. I think everything that I wrote at the end has a dash ew.
Yeah, pretty much. It's hard not to in these situations. So this episode starts off on a different note, though. It starts off with Addie going to an audiologist appointment. She recently got new hearing aids, and so they're checking in on her progress.
Yep. They tell us the story of how, oops, didn't notice that our kid was functionally deaf for like 7 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
you have to think like that would have been noticed if there weren't 18
she
other
was like
children.
One of 2.
Exactly. Like it does seem pretty obvious that she has a pretty significant hearing loss issue.
Like she had speech issues because of her hearing issues that now have like gotten way better with her having a hearing aid. So like,
thank God, yeah.
It's not like it was something that she could just like learn to live with. It was something that was like affecting her quality of life.
Yeah, for sure.
She's a child. She couldn't know about it. She doesn't know that's not how you're supposed to hear.
Right, exactly. But thankfully she is doing a lot better, and she, like I said, she just got new hearing aids, and they talk a little bit about how it was a really big adjustment when Addie first got her hearing aids, which I get because my dad recently got hearing aids and my mother-in-law too, and like it's like a whole thing, and it takes a lot of like tuning and getting everything right, and and for like a child to have to deal with that too, like it's a lot.
Yeah, and for their parents to not like be knowledgeable or whatever about it too, like it's hard. So
I think she talks about how her like first ones weren't great. And
they
had a lot
had
of issues.
Background noise, and they just did full amplification instead of like tonal amplification.
Yeah, which I can't imagine being in the Bates house and having to like hear all the background noise.
Oh my God,
loud in your ear. Like that must have been so overwhelming.
Yeah. Holy shit! Like going from not being able to hear anything except the lowest noises. Like they said that she could hear Gil's voice, but nobody else's voice really.
Right.
So like you go from just hearing like Gil and kind of like booming and stuff, and then you go to like full-fledged Jackson and Judson screaming.
Yeah, that must be, I can't imagine how chaotic that would have been. But yeah, she got new hearing aids that I guess they can kind of adjust based on like what parts you need amplified and which and then the other ones can be like dulled down, so that's cool. And those are working a lot better for her. And Kelly talks about how she notices an improvement in her hearing and her speech, especially when it comes to her schooling. So that's great.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. Good job, Addie.
Yes.
Oh, I hate the one part about this I hated was at the very end when the doctor this was so awkward. The doctor was like, well, I'll tell you something.
Everything stayed stable and da-da-da-da. It's like, I'll tell you one thing that has changed.
You're taller and prettier than the last time you were here. And it's like,
sir, this is a child.
Yeah, this
is a child and your patient.
Yeah, it was just very awkward and it made me feel very uncomfortable.
Yeah, like just taller? Funny joke.
Yeah, sure.
Weird.
Yeah. Men are gross. Let's just be real.
Yeah, I don't understand them.
So then we go to Josie and Kelton's new place. And
the newlywed nest.
The newlywed nest. And Josie's friend from church, Samantha, is coming to work to help decorate their dining room. So that's exciting.
Yep. I don't know, but I guess that's what you do when you don't like drink or party. You just decorate each other's houses and talk.
I guess. Yeah. Great. Exciting.
So exciting. But
even Whitney gets to come in on the fun, and she drops by and checks it out. And then I loved when they were Josie was kind of describing her style, and she talks about how she's got like a modern bohemian feel, and she wants like as little color as possible. And then I loved how they had like a bunch of the other family members trying to describe Josie's style. And I just have a quote from Zach, which describes her style as little strings hanging off of stuff.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's so accurate.
It's so fucking true, because her style is not boho. It is just succulents and macrame. Like, it is just Pinterest. It's Instagram.
And beige. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, she's like a product placement house where there's no bright colors to distract from the products.
Yeah. It scares me. I'm scared when I'm not surrounded by colors. It like freaks me out to be in like a muted environment.
Yeah. I grew up in a suburb that was like all pretty much new build houses, like, you know, within the past, like in the 90s and 2000s. And so they were all just beige monstrosities with beige carpet, beige walls, beige everything, beige, beige, beige. So I'm so glad now. I'm like, all my walls are like blue or
yeah, exactly. Just like, I just need color. I need to live a little.
Yeah. I can't be beige anymore.
No beige. But yeah, that was just a quick little interlude.
Yeah. It looked cute, but it just looked like a fucking Instagram picture of a dining room nook. Yeah.
Which, I mean, that seems to be Josie's style is Instagram. Yep. So great. Go for it.
Very normal.
Yes. So then we get a little part where Gil and Kelly are taking Jeb and Judd out on a little surprise outing because they got to make them feel special because they have too many kids.
I know. This whole thing where Kelly is describing, she's like, you know, we try to put stuff on the calendar so that the little kids don't get lost. And I'm like, you need to have fewer children.
Yes. That's just bottom line.
Like, worried about like missing experiences with your children because you're too busy with your other children. Like, that's too much. That's too many things.
Yeah. Little it's sad that you're like, we have to make sure that we squeeze in some time with our youngest kids. We gotta
put it on the calendar to go and think of something to do with them.
Oh Lord, poor Jeb and Judd.
I know, and they're like fucking 4-year-olds with like mid-50s parents now.
Yeah, like the amount of energy these kids have compared to their parents is like insane. Yeah. But they do get to go to an indoor rock gym and do some rock climbing, and which seemed like fun for them.
Yeah.
Even Gil and Kelly got in on the climbing, and I loved watching poor Kelly climb this rock wall in a skirt. Like, wow.
Like, God, can't wear pants even when someone's going to be standing below you and can see up your skirt.
Yeah, that's modesty right there.
There's modesty. I don't know.
I don't get the logic either. Like, how are pants? Anyway,
oh yeah, go ahead.
We've been through it. I was just gonna say, like, how are pants inherently not modest?
They don't show anything more than
you have legs.
Like a skirt is tight against your butt too to stay on. Like,
just shows that your legs are two separate things, and there might be something in between them.
Oh God, it's not like you don't see people wearing pants every day.
I know, right? But so they work on some of the beginners walls, and then they move on to the bigger walls. And I loved when Judson was starting to climb up the big wall, and Kelly goes, "You got it, tiger." And Judson just goes, "I'm not a tiger. I'm a human being." And he's like really nervous and like does not want
that perfect age of just like unfiltered obliterating snark.
I love him so much. He is a king. I love him.
Yeah. It's where like it's the age where kids like look at you and they'll be like, "What's that giant red pimple you have on your face?" And you're like, Jesus, just fucking out me to the whole world.
Yeah, come at me. Damn. But I loved, he was like so scared climbing this wall, but he did it. He did it.
He did it.
He did it. He did it. And it was awesome. And then he climbed all the way down instead of rappelling, which was cute.
That was cute.
And yeah, I don't know. I love Judson. He's a cutie.
Yeah, the little ones, they're nice.
I know.
They're still so small. How did she have kids just like 5 years ago? They're so old.
I know. I don't want to talk about it. But of course, this leads Gil to thinking about his tree business. And oh my God, Judson is going to be a great tree worker. He even says, I've got me a new replacement. And it's like, great. You just thinking of your kids as future workers for you.
Yep. Just put them out on the farm. Have them work the farm.
Judson's going to be like the one in charge of the next iteration of the Bible Baptist Church construction.
He probably is.
Poor Judson.
It's going to be Pastor Judson.
Pastor Judson.
Pastor Judd.
Oh, God.
Sounds real, doesn't it?
It does. It's a little too real for me, honestly. So then the best part of this episode, Trace, like we talked about, he's working in the reserve program, and he's, I guess, a part-time sheriff's deputy, and he is doing a ride-along with Zach, who was like East Tennessee Cop of the Year last year.
What the fuck is a volunteer policeman? Like, can they arrest you? He had a gun. Like,
I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't be able to. I feel like that's kind of fucked up.
Like a part-time deputy, but you haven't gone through the training or like the civil service test or anything. Like,
I don't really know. Like
this is a problem with Tennessee.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucked up. But I loved that Zach's first tip to Trace was simply open your eyes up and watch for things. Groundbreaking.
He said it twice. He's like, open your eyes, Trace. All you got to do is open your eyes up for once.
just groundbreaking. Be observant.
And then, of course, Trace observes somebody not wearing their seatbelt. So they whip around.
Yes. And it's like, oh my God. I loved, like, it was like they were doing something so important. And it's like, they literally just weren't wearing a seatbelt. Like,
yeah, which like is important, but also like you just pulled these people over and gave them a ticket because you wanted to be a cop on TV.
And not even just like pulled them over, like turned around, went out of their way to go after them. It was so weird.
Yeah, like, oh, gross. Yeah, Trace is going with Zach because he's deciding if he wants to make a career out of it.
Yes, he's trying to figure out if he wants to focus on that or focus more on the construction with Chad, which I vote construction with Chad, but you know.
Pays better too.
True. And Trace says that everything about being a cop is awesome except for the paperwork, which I feel like is like 99% of being a cop most of the time. So
it's the worst because he's like, when we arrest someone, I love it. I'm on board. And it's like, ew. So you just like having power over people. That's all you like about the job.
I hate it that when people are like, I like arresting people. Like, you like bust, like that's fucked up. Like, I understand that sometimes it's necessary, but like, you like doing that?
Yeah, like sometimes I'm sure it's satisfying. Like, oh, I caught a serial killer or whatever. Like, satisfying into a problem person.
Yes.
Whatever. But like, oh man, every time we throw someone in jail, I'm on board. He said at the end. I was like, ew.
Yeah.
Ew. That's like thousands of dollars and probably for stupid fucking reasons like a seatbelt or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know. Fuck that shit. I'm not here for any of it.
But also wear a seatbelt. We're
a definitely
seatbelt podcast.
We are. Don't get me wrong. You should wear your seatbelt, but I also just don't like cops.
I don't think that you should get a $300 ticket for not wearing a seatbelt.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah. It's really just in your best interest to wear a seatbelt. Let's be real.
Yeah.
All right, but let's stop talking about that because I don't want to talk about it anymore, and there's nothing more to say. Let's move on to the last episode for today, which is called A Proposal to Remember and a Baby on the Way, which that could be any episode.
It literally could. I think we've already had an episode this season named exactly this.
That's probably true. Probably true.
So we are 2 weeks from Tori's due date now.
Exciting.
So they're doing a family meeting.
Mm-hmm. It could happen at any time, and Kelly could be, could need to go at a moment's notice. And Carlin's also planning on going with Kelly as well.
Yeah.
So that leaves Katie in charge of running the house, which is weird to me because she literally says Trace, Lawson, and Nathan are here too, all of which are older than Katie, significantly older than Katie. And it's like, no. Why does a girl always have to be the one running the house in charge of the kids? Why can't you like have Lawson take a break from grunting through the house to like make the kids a sandwich for lunch?
Yeah, and like the worst thing is that Katie is like, "Oh, this is like such a great honor. Like I'm finally an adult. I get to be in charge." And it's like
like this is what she's been looking forward to. This is what her whole life has been leading to. Yeah. She gets to babysit her younger siblings, her 7 or whatever younger siblings.
To practice for when you have all those children of your own, because that's all you're made for.
This is what dreams are made of, Jillian. Hey now.
Hey now.
Yeah, so that's great, but I mean, good for Katie, I guess.
Yeah. Be an adult. Go get a job. Don't get married. Just go on the lam. I don't know.
Just cut hair. Just cut and dye hair. That's fine.
Become like Dolly Parton in Steel Magnolias and just open your own little trailer.
Perfect.
Haircut and go and give people wise advice and learn some stuff.
That's a good life right there.
Yeah.
So then the other big part of this episode, Chad and Aaron are celebrating their 5th anniversary. And so they are going to Whitestone Inn, which is where they got engaged to celebrate.
They get the room called the Mallard Suite.
I loved that.
It's just truly the bed and breakfast vibe of ages.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's just like this giant kind of green room.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. It looked nice, yeah. Chad had a little gift waiting for her, of course, because he's Chad and he got her
very wildflowers because she doesn't like roses. And yes, it looked like it was like skin stuff and cute stuff, and I'm just like, well, fucking Chad, just doing it all again,
doing it all as Chad does. So then while Chad and Aaron are away, of course, the kids are staying with Gil and Kelly, and there is a cute little clip of them like playing Mother May I with the grandkids. It was really cute, actually. But there was one Gil made a comment about how Kelly had 9 kids by the time she was 31. Let's just take that in for a second.
I know, we just need a moment of silence.
Yes.
9 kids at 31.
That's I don't know. That's just too many. Like you should have like maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, he started that sentence with, well, Aaron has 3 kids by 31. And I was like, that's too fucking many. And then he's like, but Kelly had 9. And I was like, fuck.
Okay, so then back at Whitestone Inn, Chad and Aaron are going to a private cooking lesson on the premises. I kind of looked this place up because I was curious about it. Yeah. And I just kind of wanted to see if there were any like overtly like this is a Christian place. I mean, there's a chapel there, so like obviously there's that, but they do weddings and stuff. So I mean, that's not that weird.
Are kind of typical in Tennessee,
right? But the one thing I did find was a little thing that says Whitestone Inn is an alcohol-free and smoke-free property.
Yep.
So yeah, sounds like a place the Bates would go. Let's be real.
That's definitely a Christian bed and breakfast. Yeah, that's on the Fundy list of approved things.
Definitely. But they make a chicken breast in gravy, and I know
it's ridiculous. This whole thing was like, oh, we're making pan-seared chicken breast and some portobello gravy, and it's upscale country. I'm like, it's just a regular fucking dish that like everyone eats in a lot of places.
Yeah. I mean, it was fine. They seem to enjoy it. So good for them.
They finally got a lesson in how to fucking cook chicken correctly. So maybe
there you go. Help. That could literally save someone's life. So
very true. That's how you get to 9 kids at 31. Food safety.
Exactly. Okay, so Bradley is the other part of this episode. Bradley is turning 4 years old, and his birthday is, I think, in like mid to late October. Yeah. So they're having like a fall birthday party at Oaks Farm, and they're doing a fall hayride, and this looks like an ideal birthday party. Let's be real.
Oh, yeah. Outdoors, cool weather. You get a fucking pumpkin at the end of it.
Like, you can't ask for much more than that.
No, honestly. Iconic.
Yes. They have birthday cake and presents, obviously. And I think Bradley is so fucking cute. Yeah. And I love him so much. And I loved the little talking head with him and Whitney and Zach. And Bradley says he's Granny's favorite because he's so good looking. And I just thought that was really funny. And I love Bradley. He's cute as hell.
Yeah, he's very cute. He's not like, he doesn't have any like demon spawn energy at all.
No, he's not like Spurgeon.
No, he seems like a mellow child that has regular opinions, not like, I want to kill my brother.
Yeah, he just seems like a normal kid, and that's good for him. I mean, I feel bad for him because he's, but...
At least, I mean, from his perspective, he has a mom that stays home all the time and loves him a lot.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
He's just vibing right now.
Zach and Whitney do seem like they're great parents. Like, they seem really involved in their kids' lives, and they seem to really love being parents, so that's great. Good for them.
Yep, good job.
Yeah, that's like bare minimum, but good job.
Yep.
Okay, so then back to Chad and Aaron. They go to the chapel on the property, which is they said they got ready to get engaged at this chapel, which is like, why didn't you just get? It's just like weird that this was like a significant because we got ready to get engaged at this chapel. Okay,
maybe they prayed together or something.
Probably. That's probably it.
That's probably what they meant. It's like they prayed together or like had their families there and like prayed over them. And then they went out and he was like, would you be my wife? I will build 1,000 stages for you.
I will build 1,000 headboards for you and your family.
I will become the carpenter of you old. Maybe Chad's really Jesus.
Maybe. It would make a lot of sense, honestly.
Yeah,
he does seem
a carpenter.
Yeah, he seems kind of Jesus-like, and to be real.
We gotta see who his friends are.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know if Chad has friends. I wonder if Chad has friends. I
don't know if he has time to have friends with all of the shit he has to do for the Bates family.
I mean, they've got goats, children, a dog, a wood business that he does on the side. He's
booked up, so no friends for
busy.
Chad. But at the chapel this time, they exchanged gifts. Mm-hmm. So Aaron got Chad, I guess he had like an old like sentimental Bible that was like falling apart, so she got it like rebound in leather, and she got him a nice like leather journal, since that's something he like really likes to do and that she really likes that he does. I thought those were really thoughtful gifts.
I thought it was really good, except for the part where she said that she reads his journals after the fact. Like, that's weird to me.
That is weird. Like, my husband journals too, and I like love that he journals. I think that's awesome, but like I would never read his journal. Like, that is just,
I mean, even after death, I think I would only like flip through for like the highlights, like look for like what they wrote on like your wedding day or something.
Yeah, it's like the journal is for him, so let's just leave it there.
Yeah, that was the only thing where I was like, weird. But
I did, at least the gifts were like, she really put thought and effort into them, so that's nice.
Oh yeah, I did like that she basically stole his Bible for weeks to get it rebound, and was just like, I don't know, I have no idea.
Poor Chad must be just like so confused all the time with what's going on. He's like constantly having things kept from him, just like he just goes with the flow.
He comes home after a 12-hour workday doing construction on a roof or whatever, and she's just like, oh, so I volunteered you to make 3 tables for a bake sale tonight.
Yeah. Great. Poor Chad. Hashtag free Chad.
Free Chad. The only Chad I will go to bat for.
Yeah, for real. So then Chad says he has a gift for her, but that's coming later. So then they go outside and there's a horse and carriage waiting, which this was also like how it was when they got engaged. Mm-hmm. And it takes them to this little like gazebo area that's like paved in a heart shape. That's, like made for engagements, probably proposals.
Oh yeah.
And then they get to the little gazebo and Chad gives her a set of rings. One is from the kids and one is from him, and it was really nice and sweet, and she loved them, so that's great.
Yep. And she said Chad was the best man that God ever made, and I just want to like capture that moment where she says that and just send it to all of her male relatives and be like, be better.
Be better. Honestly, I don't know if I could disagree with her statement. Like, Chad, like, especially of the dudes on this show, like,
yeah, definitely probably the best man God ever made in Tennessee.
Exactly. Low bar, but you know what? It's okay.
Oh man.
But yeah, they got to celebrate their anniversary, and it seemed like a nice special weekend away. So
Yeah.
good for Chad and Aaron.
Yeah. Very cute. Very good. Chad and Aaron, the only ones.
Yeah. Chad and Aaron. But I think that about does it for this week, for this group of episodes. We will be back very soon to cover the next batch of episodes in this season. But if you have anything that you would like to say about anything we've talked about today, or if you have anything you'd like us to talk about or cover in the future, you can send us an email at tvliterate@gmail.com.
And you can find us all over the internet at TV Literate. We are on Reddit, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere you can think of, we're probably there. You can send us anything interesting, notes, whatever, just things that you see around the internet that you think might be up our alley. We love hearing from you guys, and we love chit-chatting with you. And if you want to send any cash our way to help us with hosting expenses, we have a Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/TV Literate.
Yes, we would appreciate that very much. And we would also appreciate if you could leave us a review if you have a moment. That would be very helpful. And we will see you guys next week with another episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.